Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for this next album review for another marathon studio album review for Judas Priest's second studio album, Sad Wings of Destiny, that I got a chance to listen to for this 1976 record. See what I was going to think of all 9 songs. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this 39-minute record, about 39-minute record and some seconds, and let you know my thoughts on Judas Priest's Sad Wings of Destiny. So let's dive into this album review. Sorry, that's my cat meowing. As you can see, Titan's meowing. Yeah, aren't you, Titan? But yeah, uh, he likes a certain spot. His itchy spot makes him meow a lot. So, pretty much, to get on topic of this review, Victim of Changes is a pretty good song, actually. I was a little impressed with the start of this record. So, the opening track is pretty strong in its own way. So, I really dig this. Rob Halford's singing and Screech singing actually sounds good with the hard rock kind of style for this one. So, I'm really digging the heavy hard rock kind of stuff for this one. So 4.75 out of 5. It's mostly hard rock and rock kind of stuff, but it sounds good for how it is. The Ripper is a strong track. I really enjoyed this one. This is another 5 out of 5. Well, this is a 5 out of 5 for sure. The last track's a 4.75 out of 5. But other than that, The Ripper did sound pretty good. It's one of my favorite songs on this album overall. So, personally dig this track. Good track. Dreamer Deceiver is a pretty good song in its own way. I mean, Rob Halford's singing in it is pretty strong for how it is. And execution-wise, I think this track worked for what it was going for the most part. There were some melodic moments from time to time, but mostly the hard rock style infused sound was pretty good for how it was. So I really dig this one. 4.75 out of 5. Deceiver is a pretty good song in its own way too. Really dig this one as well. I really like how Rob Halford's singing in it. And just execution wise, I think this track worked to its own benefit and made it a pretty strong track for the most part. So the guitar work and drum work's pretty solid in this too, so 4.75 out of 5. Prelude is only a minute and 59 seconds, but it is a interesting listen for sure. So really dug this one too. Another 4.75 out of 5. It's only a very short prelude track, like an interlude track to the next song, which is Tyrant, which we will talk about right now. So 4.75 out of 5 for Prelude. Solid track. Tyrant is a good song. Not one of my favorites, but it's good for how it sounds. I think the chanting vocals in the background, with the backing vocals, where they're singing Tyrant and all that, it's not terrible, but I don't know, the pacing of it is kind of hit or miss. But other than that, it's a good track for how it is. Pretty melodic rock, hard rock kind of stuff. So I dig it. It's 4.5 out of 5. Genocide is a strong track for how it sounds. Really enjoyed Rob Halford singing in it. And execution-wise, this track pulled it off for what it was going for. So, good track. 4.75 out of 5. The drum work and guitar work's pretty strong in this, and execution-wise, this track did very well. Epitaph is another solid track, but not one of my favorites, in my opinion. I think Epitaph tried for what it was going for, but I don't know, the execution wasn't really there too much. It was melodic at times and sounded a little acoustic-wise of a track, but nothing terrible. So, good track, but 4.5 out of 5 is what I'm feeling. And finally, we get to the closing track, Island of Domination, which is a pretty good song for how it sounds. I do dig the style of what they're going for this lengthy track. A little over 5 minutes or so. 4.5, 5 minutes, somewhere around that time frame. But from what I listened to, Rob Halford's singing in this record has gotten a lot better, and it's improved a little more with the sound of how their style is for the beginning albums. So overall, 4.75 out of 5 for Island of Domination. It's a pretty good song for how it is. It's not one of my favorites, but it is a highlight to the record in a way. So, as the closing track, it's a highlight for sure. So overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Sad Wings of Destiny by Judas Priest is a better record, in my opinion. I think this record improved through with how it was sounding overall. I think, for the most part, Rob Halford singing in it has improved with the soundscape of this record, with how musicality is sounding overall. It's produced a lot better. It's mixed very well, and I think it's a good record. It's not mind blowing like it's a pretty good album or so, but it's a good record in its own way. So, if I were to give Judas Priest Sad Wings of Destiny its deserved score, I'm feeling a good 8 out of 10. It's a good record. I definitely recommend you guys check it out, see what you think of it for yourself, as for a listen and all that. It's a better sophomore record from Rockarola. Rockarola I did not like. Honestly, I tried liking it and I just found myself disappointed with that record. With how the overall sound wise of the record was. But this one was an improvement and a step in the right direction. So, and Rob Halford singing in it was a lot better with how the overall sound and mixing and production of the tracks were sounding. So, 8 out of 10 for Sad Wings of Destiny by Judas Priest. I hope you enjoyed this sophomore album review. For this next Marathon Studio album review, the next one's going to be on May 14th, so tomorrow after the Wednesday Versus video. But until then, thanks for watching this album review tonight, and you guys have a good night.